All right, back to the thermal. You should be able to see me in there, red, orange, and yellow guy. Yep. So my beard should be much colder than my face. Some people like to call me Nearly Headless Nick. Does anybody get that reference? Yeah, you guys got that? Perfect. I usually make the joke that I'm the hottest guy in the frame, but that's not always going to work out in my frame. You know, you guys are bigger than me, so but I'm probably quicker. I'll say that much. Christian's like, yeah, you're probably quicker. But anyway, so we're looking for those cold spots. Those are going to be blue and black. That's why I point out that I'm the warmest thing in the frame right now. So I want those cold spots to move or to take shape. When I say take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms and legs. That's what we've caught with this guy in the past. That's what we'll hopefully capture with it again. Now, the cool thing about this particular camera is there's a blue dot bouncing around the screen showing us the coldest spot in the frame at that particular moment. I'm looking for 15 plus degree temperature drops out of that blue dot when I'm spot checking your video. So it is about 79 degrees for us ambient out here. I'm looking for 64 degrees and colder, and the user, Christian, will be looking for the exact same thing. So about 64 degrees and colder. So with this, on night vision mode, no. Let me get through the history, and then I'm going to spread you guys out. So for every new location we go to, I'm going to kind of give you the layout of how each space is going to work. This one in particular, I'll give you the history, and then you're all going to spread out. I'll do 1, 2, maybe 3 round robins with everybody, and take a lot of notes, and then bring you back to kind of give you all the answers to show you how it all ties together. So, communication devices, there are a lot of you. This is where I start with holding information on purpose. I will not be giving you questions here like what color was George Washington's white horse. So like what we did over there at the Big Red Barn. You'll be getting the answers from your communication devices, and that's the hope. So again, I'm not going to be spouting numbers off, kind of like what we talked about before they arrived. So I'll kind of give you a few things, and just enough so you guys can actually start investigating. So, welcome to a parking lot. Congrats, you made it. I told you, I take you to weird spots. This place, we're fortunate enough, it is a Sunday night and there's not a vehicle in sight, which is beautiful for us. So, I have to worry about vehicles coming in, but if people are coming through, obviously cameramen, wow, this actually worked out where I have both dads doing the cameras. So, camera dads, just be mindful of people walking in and out, so just look at your cameras. We all understand if we have pictures of the ground, not a big deal. Now, what is this place? This used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. Their mansion sat in the front of the space facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was lined up with Five Church Restaurant, came all the way across, and we are standing in the servant and slave quarters for the home. That's the layout of the land. So who the hell were these people? Well, Charles and Eliza had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 different Chucks, in case nobody was paying attention. That's exactly why we look for secondary clues. In the events that Lou hears the name Charles, I need to know which one it is from another clue so I know how to address that particular Charles. They're all 3 different men. You guys are starting to see the point, I hope.
It started moving as soon as you started saying Charles.
What number did you go up to?
I got 4.1.
4.1, wow. So that's your new baseline. So,
wow.
So, Henry, hopefully you start seeing some of those numbers move on yours as well. So, pretty cool stuff. And by the way, I'm not like super impressed yet. The average for this location, for you, it's like, oh my god!
All the way until
average, just so the 2 of you know, is about 18 to 22 for this location. So that's an average. So we're going to see what it's actually going to do for us tonight. Anyway, back to the Chucks. The son and the nephew that I just mentioned, signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. Big deal for us, but I hate politics more than all of you combined, especially during this election year, so we're going to move on. If I don't give the gentlemen their recognition, they will do it for me in a nasty manner, primarily through a spirit box that Lou is using. I can't tell you how many nasty messages I've gotten because they want to be recognized. Moving forward, we're going to talk about Eliza instead. Much better story. Eliza married Charles at a young age according to today's standards. I say it slowly because communication devices, if you're going to ask her how old she was when she married, do not expect numbers from the colonial days when young ladies got married at the ages of 12 and 14. Think of today's standards because the husband was over double her age when they married. It was kind of a creepy age gap back then, it's a creepy age gap now. We don't have an age gap couples in front of me right now, sometimes I have to put my foot in my mouth. Yes, it happens. But anyway, she married him because her father was over in England. Dad thinks he's dying. He's trying to bring all of his children home one last time so he could see them. Eliza did not believe he was dying, so she stayed put right here and got married. It is 1744. You do not get married in that particular year to earn a green card. We are not a country yet. So, there's no such thing as a green card back then. She married him out of love. This is a love story, everybody. Nothing horrific about this location. This is just a great, very well-haunted location that I've been visiting for a very long time. So please be respectful while we're here. Nothing horrific about it. Moving on. She was correct. Dad did not die right away. Instead, he starts sending her gifts from England to where you're standing. One of those gifts he sent her, because she was into botany, were the plant seeds of indigo. That is a plant that makes blue dye that makes your blue jeans blue. So the only one that I can see that's actually, oh, we got 2 people wearing it. You got blue jeans on too? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, yeah, there you go. So we got blue all over the place, denim all over. I thought everybody else stole your thunder. It wasn't me, I promise. So anyway, when she got those seeds, no idea what to do with them. Had to learn from her servants and slaves how to keep it cultivated. It's not always hot here, believe it or not. Then she had to basically learn how to make the dye. Moved it to a cash crop, got a hold of her dad and told him, rice plantations going downhill. We're gonna make a killing with the indigo. And now we have an international businesswoman during colonial times. Something absolutely unheard of. Now, that's the boring business stuff. Let's get into the weird shit, because that's why you guys are here. So, communication devices, I'm gonna give you guys focus questions. What does that mean? Focus questions, you can ask these things out loud, or you can basically focus on them. There's no right or wrong way to do it, and I'm here every night. It's not like Eliza can't hear me and not knowing what questions we're going to be asking. Also, keep in mind, we have 2 cameras running my voice recorder and multiple communication devices. Lou, if you ask something, the answers might actually go to our devices. We don't know where they're going to go, and that goes for all of them. So you're going to tell me all the silly things that you guys are getting out of your devices. So, we'll actually start off with yours. So, left to right, I guess. So, Juliet, you're going to be focused on the mansion. It's not here anymore. So, ask what happened to it, and if you ask what happened, we'll often get 2 or 3 numbers from the exact date of when that occurred. So, it's very, very specific. That's the only communication I said of you guys. So, Lou, you're going to be focused on Eliza's death. So, 4 major questions that we get answers to. How old were you when you died? So, age. What did you die from? How? Where are you buried? Where? Which president was a pallbearer at your funeral? So, age, how, where, president. 4 majors. With yours, they're going to hopefully work in tandem. You're going to be looking for Eliza's initials out of the little Ouija board device on your left. So, ELP. I'm not going to tell you what the L stands for because Eliza is the second wife named Eliza from Charles back to back. The first wife, also named Eliza, also has a maiden name, same initial, L. So hopefully you get the answer on the other ones. So normally I separate these 2. This is normally a 2-person job. I would say like kind of like everybody has 1 device. Same thing. I just decided, let's throw 2 at you and see how this works out together. So ELP and of course any other words that are going to be spelled out for us out of this little Ouija board device. So everybody kind of has like their small assignment. I'm going to have you guys spread out. Have we seen any other numbers besides that 4.1 that I need to know about? Henry, you got anything?
Jumping out first.
Everything has been below 1.
Below 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me make sure you're not on hold. Because sometimes you guys accidentally tap buttons and that's okay. Nope, you're good. So 0.2. Just so you know, natural is 1.1. That's why we go straight to 2.5.
5.7.
5.7.
Wow.
Maybe you need to stand next to her. She's getting some good juice over there, man.
Big stand right on top of her.
I keep seeing
Go on her shoulders.
We're going to reset you here in just a minute. Alright, everybody spread out. I'm going to keep Myra with me so that way I can show her how to kind of redesign this device here. So you can see that it's overwriting the letters.
Yeah.
So whenever it does that, it's going to create a pause. It's stopped off again. And it's okay. And it comes back around.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
Thingy cool thing. It
How
was
many?
2.8 right there.
Okay, that's good.
Some guy just yapped 39.
Oh yeah?
Does that mean she died at 39?
I don't know. Go tell Nick. Are you asking the questions, Lou?
What?
Are you asking the questions you're supposed to ask?
Yeah, I'm looking for nouns.
What was that experience like that?
Alright. So with both cameras being as small as they are, just so you know, I don't always do the follow-up in real time with you guys, unless it's, of course, you have something like right away. Because I send the videos to YouTube, and that way I can watch them on a screen. You guys will, well, everybody will be able to watch them on their, their screens themselves, whatever size they want to use. But anything weird that you've seen so far?
Nothing yet.
And obviously you're getting the gist of how it works.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep somebody in the frame, like
Got
you
it.
said.
Said something
Yeah, we've had full blue people walking towards us in this kind of weather. Just
That's
so you know.
crazy.
Welcome to my world. All right.
Hey, you signed up for this. So did we, I guess.
What color was the mansion?
What's your highest reading yet?
63.
What? 63?
Yep, I was just walking around talking about her. And then, have you gotten anything
I
yet?
haven't gotten any blue ghosts yet.
Well, brown seems pretty good.
I know, but you're looking for the outline of like a person walking.
Wow, look, it's 3 people. So cool.
Yeah, but those are
I know.
the warm people.
All right. Here's how most are going to come through here. Just be mindful of them walking through. We're going to cut through. I know we have the whole space to ourselves right now, but we'll just split the seas and let them go through, point your cameras downwards. So Juliet, we'll start with you. What'd you get?
Muffled everything.
Muffled
Nothing
everything. Okay.
Yeah. See, everything was muffled.
Yeah.
So I went from soldiers to own to age. I get some when I was right by her. We right parking meter too. Upstairs.
Okay.
Soldiers own age and upstairs.
Okay. Anything going on with that Ouija board device? I'll explain at the next location.
Okay.
We're going to be looking for the letters R-I in here. That'll make a whole lot more sense once we get things going on. Henry, numbers, anything?
Constantly
Okay, so number 11, 8. Alright, so welcome to Philadelphia Alley. Every ghost story comes here, by the way. And it doesn't look like it right now. There are 339 ghost stories in Charleston. They all stop here. I change my route up a little bit every single year. This was the space I was going to take out this year. But this guy likes to follow me around. Every place we go to from here moving forward, we will be near a place of raised emotion for him. He will follow us around for the remainder of the night. By the way, last year, was it 2 years ago, I was going to take out the Pinckney Mansion site just because it is kind of really off the beaten path from other touristy type places to go. And the reason I was going to take people out is because I was getting very disrespectful ghost hunters on your end of things. For example, I would get people like, yo, Eliza, let's go, and then they go take a leak in the corner in a place of what I would call respect. I was getting very nasty messages coming through spirit boxes like what those, and I have those recordings. And I'm not talking like radio chatter. I'm talking disembodied voices saying, please just leave us alone, going over 14 to 15 radio stations at a time with the same voice. That is not radio chatter. So you guys are going to see that when you guys get your recordings back. But anyway, every night I actually walk through the Pinckney Mansion site and I read off all of your names. That's part of the reason why I'm able to memorize all your names, because they're all written down in my notebook, just so you guys know. I read them all off. It's kind of my little pact with Eliza, just so she knows who I'm bringing along with me that particular night. So it's just a thing of respect. I do it every single night. But anyway, why are we here? This is Philadelphia Alley. This is what used to be called Dueler's Alley. So we all tell the same damn story down here. I'm just going to give you a few extra details because you're ghost hunting. You're not on a campfire marshmallow kind of ghost story. Yeah, exactly. Did I say that out loud? I sure as hell did. But anyway, sorry, sometimes I forget the things that I say might actually be funny. And I'm like, oh, snap. But anyway, so this place, this is where the duels used to occur. So back to back, take 10 paces, turn and shoot kind of stuff. So here's how this story goes. The doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. So that's why I'm always going to be looking. R-I is what we're looking for in that order. I don't want them reversed. So again, I wanted to be specific because it's only 2 letters. So he moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. I said his name slowly because in the event that the song Brown Eyed Girl shows up on Lou's recording, not coincidence. It's part of his name. We get it all the time. Moving on. Doc moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancee Amanda. Everyone sing?
Sing.
Maybe we're just missing something. a lot of money from her dead parents. So she has an attorney helping her out with all the cash flow that she just inherited, and the attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. He tells Amanda, get rid of that doctor. He comes down here to Charleston to prove that he's armed. On his way into town, he had a coachman that was set him up to be robbed and killed. The coachman, and by the way, for the younger group, that's like having a really bad Uber driver today. They just drop you off and somebody's going to kill you when you get out of your car. I know, I have to put things in perspective. So,
I like that.
But anyway, somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen with the person coming into town, Dr. Ladd, and the coachman, because he knew him. The person walking by was named Ralph Isaacs. Do those initials sound familiar to you guys at all? All right. So the reason why we have the Ouija board device is because of this particular story. We were getting the letters RI all the time from Lou's device, so I bought the Ouija board device because I wanted the specific letters to verify. We've had it about 7 or 8 times in the year that I've had that device. So, and it only comes up with Ralph's name. Moving on. Ralph tells the doctor, dude, I know this guy, the coachman. He's going to try to kill you. Why don't you come with me? I got friends at 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from them. We'll be safe and good to go. Doc took him up on the offer. They're friends. Now, the longer the doctor stays here in Charleston, the more money he's making. Proving his point. It's not after Amanda's money. He's making his own. So Amanda gets wind of this from Rhode Island, and she's moving down so they could be married. Dr. Ladd then became known as the Whistling Doctor. This is why I hate the story and why I was going to take it out of my route. I hate cliches. Every haunted city you will ever visit is going to have a cliche whistling ghost. We all have one. So ours just happens to be a doctor. Just point that out. So why are we in Dueler's House? Let's kind of get into that. Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. Doc gets better seats. So on the way home from seeing Richard III, they are arguing over the new actress they just saw. Doc thought she was great. Ralph didn't. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiance, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. It got really ugly. They went their separate ways. Ralph went to his friends at the newspaper and placed an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of stuff. Now, Doc saw that ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. We're going to settle this. Everybody keep in mind that this argument started over an actress. Pretty dumb stuff would go on in the 1700s. Now, the two gentlemen came down here back to back. They took their 10 paces. They turned. Doc pointed his gun in the air and he shot. He did not want to kill his friend. He just needed the courage to show up to the fight, which is often what happened at a duel. But Ralph still has his one bullet, and he puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Doc doesn't die. He fell to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street. He died 10 days later, November 2nd of 1786, after refusing medical treatment. Two things about the last thing I just said. It's 1786. Gunshot wounds were a lot different back then than what we think of them now. Secondly, he is a doctor. He probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself, but obviously he failed. So, he died. That's the whole point. Every tour that comes down here will tell their guests to listen for whistles as they walk through the alley. We have 2 cameras running plus my voice recording. If we're going to capture a disembodied whistle, more than likely going to come from the gentleman's devices that you guys see here. So that's what's going on. The other piece of this is that Lou's device, I can't tell you how many times I have stumbled across the whistling part of a song and then the word doctor immediately from a commercial right afterwards. I don't look for these things. When I'm spot checking your guys' media, it is literally minute 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, you're seeing the pattern. I don't look for anything. Whatever falls in my lap, falls in my lap. So I stumble across doctor all the time. So take that for what it's worth. Keep in mind, Doc also has a code word that none of you are going to know until the end of the night in case it actually pops up to let us know who's following us. It's a word you would not normally commonly hear on the radio. So we're going to talk about that as we kind of move throughout our night as well. Super awesome. Look at all the jerks streaming out of their cars and carriage rides. And did you guys hear the guy making fun of us and some wah-ha-ha-ha kind of
Oh
thing?
yeah, I heard that. He's like,
I get that all the time. So, if you're going to walk all the way through here, by the way, without me, because I can't take you all the way through, remember this is spot number 1 where I've been kicked out of. Turn on your voice recorders, listen for those whistles when you guys go back to the recording, but remember that every local knows the story. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland or Queen Street, we all throw a whistle down this alley. It's just something we do here. So, yes, it's supposed to be funny. And normally if there's other tourists, they will go a little bit further down, they all whistle as we come through and go, oh, sorry, we didn't mean to ruin it for you. I'm like, we got it. Like, keep going. But anyway, here's how I got booted out here. Before this place was called Dueler's Alley, it was called Cow Alley. The reason why is because this is really kept the livestock in the city of Charleston. Cows, goats, and chickens are all through here. That's basically why it was built. So there was a wall halfway between us and Cumberland Street, kind of keeping everything inside. So the reason I'm telling you this is because they started down there and moved this way slowly over the years. Those bricks are older than the ones we're standing on. Those bricks down at the end, those are sun-dried bricks from slave children. Full handprint from a slave child, one of those bricks. Some fingerprint swipes and others. I used to take my groups all the way through for a history lesson. There's nothing paranormal about that brick. It was just something of history. Again, you already know how I feel about cemeteries. That's the last place you're going to find that child ghost staring at his handprint in one of those bricks from the labor he had. Now, November 26th of 2020, I took my entire group all the way through. They're huddled around that damn brick, waiting for something to happen with all the gear I handed out that night. I know nothing's going to happen, and I'm trying to shoo them along, also because we are standing outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm trying to be respectful. I didn't realize we were out of bounds for tours. I was still new to this. So, the new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was hysterical. She was about your guys' age, by the way. She was on the tour that night, and she's cracking up laughing because Dad's getting yelled at. And we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on Thanksgiving because I worked in upper management and retail, mainly for Walmart, for a good number of years. You all fight over towels on Thanksgiving, and you scarred me for life. I'm never working another Thanksgiving ever. The next day, 28th of November, I called my partner that I had at the time that brought me to tourism. I told him what happened. He laughed at me like my daughter did. He said, dude, you're only allowed to go down halfway. You got to reroute your group. What I told my group that night was, I don't get into pirates, I'm into vampires. I would normally tell you a pirate story, but I'm going to kick that out of there. I'll tell you about that later on. Jason's looking like, who the hell did we sign up with? This guy's getting booted out of places all over the place. But anyway, so before we left, somebody with a spirit box heard the name Anne. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating over there. The famous female pirate, Anne Bonny. So it was like, okay, maybe we'll get something. Took him around the corner, told him what I knew about pirates, which wasn't much, by the way. Somebody else with a spirit box heard the number 300. I don't know what that one means. I wrote it down. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720, the exact 300-year anniversary of her pirate trial. So I normally get the wows and the, oh wow, that's crazy shit, right?
Living.
I was actually pretty pissed off when that occurred. Let me explain why. Master's degree in creative writing, everybody. All of my degrees are in writing of some way, shape, or form, whether it be fiction or not. No matter what I'm writing or researching, I need facts. Problem with pirate stories is they come from pirate lore. Pirate lore was written 100 years after the golden age of piracy. That's a problem for me. That means whenever you guys found something over there, I had to read a shit ton of books to be able to verify what the hell was going on for one piece of evidence. I read more books on pirates, watched more documentaries, and played more video games about pirates than I've ever wanted to in my entire life. Problem now, I can't even take you over there to tell you the whole damn story. So it used to be a grand finale on one of the years I was doing this, but now I can't go over there anymore. We got a new story. So when we get up and around the corner, I'll explain what's going on at that particular location. We're going to go around the horn one last time to see what we got going on. Anything going on at the EMFs? Henry, anything? Any words coming out of the Ouija board?
No, and the R and I
Weren't
pattern, like they were separated with other
Yeah,
characters.
too many.
Heinous is the word right now.
Oh, okay.
Heinous.
I'm not surprised with that coming out of the radio station. Lou, did you get anything coming out of yours? Nothing? And I know you're on mute. Gentlemen, did you guys see anything weird?
Not yet.
I love how you guys like showed up in pairs even though you guys are like in different parties. Like, this is hysterical. I love it. So, the only twinsies that and you guys are literally all matched up exactly, except for, I mean, you're kind of like the lone wolf with your two devices, but I mean, we have 2 EMF, 2 spirit boxes, 2 cameras. Love it. That's just kind of like, that worked out really well. Oh, by the way, the gate.
Yeah.
I'd like to, there's a reason why I stopped at the gate. So, it's not only, it's the halfway point of where the wall was, but the gate itself, remember that there was a wall there before it was duel or alley, and then there were duels that occurred here. So if there's a loser to the duel down here, this was a shortcut to get over to the cemetery that I'm about to take you to. Otherwise, you gotta walk all the way down to Queen Street and then double back with the dead body. You guys are seeing the point. The wrought iron gate was probably put there in the early 1900s, but if you want to take a look at it, you can see that the archway is actually part of the original wall. So that's the reason why it was put there. So yes, there's a courtyard on the other side, but literally right, I mean, some of you were taking pictures of the steeple. So that's exactly where the cemetery is. So it's just a nice little shortcut to get over there. So when we go up and around the corner, I'm going to swap out the battery and lights of Jason's camera. And we're going to use his camera as an experiment at the next location, but as I'm doing the exchange of his light and battery, I'll explain the story of over there. It's very quick, short, and simple, but we're going to get some 5 to 7 minutes worth of footage. You're going to listen along the way, and then I'm going to tell the story, and then you're going to listen again. So that's kind of how that one's going to go. So,
Is it okay?
what happened?
It's reading.
It's reading? Okay. Everything's insured. I'm not like always super worried about stuff. You guys are fine. It's just a matter of like, oh, how many people do I have tomorrow night? There's been times where somebody's dropped like one of my crazy cameras, and I have like sold out nights for like weeks on end, where I'm like I gotta pay like $100 in shipping just to get it there and overnight it. Like, yeah, it happens. But yeah, phones, I'm not worried about those. I got
So
plenty of
listen
those.
to this while we walk.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And then when we get up and around the corner, you'll stop for just a few minutes, let me tell the story, and you'll start listening again. All right, let's get out of this crazy like alley, because anybody want to take pictures? By the way, this is like one of the most gorgeous places we have in all of Charleston.
Mom, do you have your phone? Or I have
You guys can
mine.
be tourists. Let me
You
see
can
your,
hold that
while
for-
everybody's kind of taking a quick look down here.
He hasn't gotten it.
I already stopped it. I'm just not seeing anything different.
Yeah. This screen's also small too, so we're gonna watch that shit on YouTube and hopefully find stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, how did the thermal come out here? You got a nice clear shot, especially with your height. Hopefully we got something weird. I haven't caught any like bodies down here. All the bodies, like the blue people from that particular camera,
Yeah.
have all been at the Big Red Barn or the Pinky Mansion site.
Oh, really?
Okay, I got my pictures.
Okay.
Does
Alright.
this pick this up? Or no? They.
No, not on that particular device.
No.
Things like the Envoy, yeah, it would probably. I can figure that out.
Did you want to change that key now or?
We can do that around the corner. It kind of helps on the monitor. Nice is there's nobody down here. You guys want to take pictures?
Doesn't look very noisy.
It's actually
Yeah, we went all day long. Oh, I thought we went by it. We went by it.
Sorry.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
Good, how are you?
You good? Were you stopping in?
Just pretty quick.
Oh, we're on our way out, so we'll just start right down the middle for you. Alright, good stuff. Exactly where her grave is at. You figure out how to go to night vision? Perfect. So, do you see the crosses, like the cross headstone in the back? Sue is just to the left, and one more row back. So you guys are going to try to hold those cameras still for about 5 minutes or so. Juliet, unmute yourself. Let's do this. Kind of see what we can get out of this. Lou, I definitely want you listening in too, so we'll see what we get out of it. As far as EMS, we did get like a 9 and a 12 over here over the past couple of weeks. And go ahead and do the ambulance. It's primarily in by the Sue area. So anything after that, I kind of have to count it as like it's electricity from the city. It's only happened like 2 or 3 times. How's our word list coming? What do we got going on there?
I've already gotten blue. That it? Huh? I've already gotten blue. Here, it's been stuck on here since you said
So it helps if I
about.
start recording, huh?
Yeah.
See, I can like put like words together. Light list tonight. I know it seems like very conversational, like, but there's nothing here I can actually prove.
Yeah.
I do like the SUBE though. I know we have an interference of B, but it can happen. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Dave Charleston is here. If it's from Charleston, it could be here.
So which grade is it?
So it's, you see the cross in the back?
Yes.
Look to the left.
Yeah.
There's one more row back. We were actually closer to her when we were in the alleyway.
Okay.
But this is the only visual we can get of her. But everybody else is very close. Yeah. You know the difference between a graveyard and a cemetery?
Church.
If you know it. They put everything else correctly tonight.
Do they have the bodies in the cemetery as the tombstone?
No. I want you to think of this as
Cemetery.
a little bit of choir. Alright, so graveyard, the church is attached to the same plat of land. Think of the graveyard as the yard of the house. Across the street is where the cemetery is. Off site.
Graveyard cemetery.
I've gotten nothing.
Some of the best.
I've also gotten blue.
Mm.
Hey, look, that's the first one.
So we have blue here. We get people's names all the time from your guys' long lost relatives that will come through.
Your name? What? Well, you see, all of her long lost relatives said my name was dead before she changed her name to Lou.
Yeah, but they would still be aware.
Like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they're hanging around.
Okay.
They don't know. You know what I mean?
Olivia,
They'll know.
your great grandfather's following you. Be careful. He's dead. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. Papa? Yeah. You got Derek in that first What? Oh. Yeah.
How's our counters looking on the cameras?
0.
Kind of 5 or 6 minute on there yet?
Well, I didn't hit record when I first started, so.
Gotcha.
3.5 minutes.
Okay. Do it another minute or two, I guess. By the way, do you guys see the lights off to the left? The one light. The church put that there on purpose so that if you're trying to take pictures over here, it actually gives you like a light flare, and you can't actually recreate what actually happened. The sign that I told you about is literally right here. Like it says, there's no ghost here, but there's
Oh, so that light's there, so you can't recreate what happened?
yeah. So a regular camera will get a light flare that comes up. Yeah, the only boost to see Phillips is the Holy Ghost.
Oh, that's the sun.
Anything else coming out of your guys' reading? Spirit boxes?
No,
Looks like other first line come up here. Alright. Still on fear.
Oh, 15.
It doesn't have strings to go around the head.
It's not like this, and then it's like holes, and then there's more indentation.
Yeah, and then we got really.
I love how you're explaining it to me like I don't know what it is. I think it's great. It's okay.
We tried and then we couldn't figure it out.
So I figured I was going to have different genders sitting here all the time, and I didn't want to ruin anybody's hair. So I wanted to make sure it was only going to go over your ears like a Batman mask. So it's basically you're going to put it on this way. Those holes are for your ears, and then your headphones will hold it in place. Don't put it on yet.
Oh,
So here's what to expect. Let's get everybody kind of gathered around nice and tight, just so we know.
interesting.
So with yours, you're going to be seeing images. Can I see it so I can set it up for you? Have you ever done virtual reality before?
I have.
Okay, so this is not Jurassic Park where the dinosaurs are going to eat your face off. Okay? You are going to see a galaxy off in the distance, and every once in a while, it'll be moving. Don't look for things in the galaxy. It's just there for so you don't fall asleep. Every once in a while, a picture will show up in front of it. Tell us what the picture is in simple terms. Lou's going to be talking and can't hear you. Keep it simple. 2 girls, bench 3. Kind of keep it nice and simple. If she's not talking much, I will ask you probing questions. So kind of keep like, hey, what are the 2 girls wearing? What time period is it from? What color is the bench?
Both stay up or individual?
It'll stay up there for like 30 seconds.
Okay.
So you'll explain it in a quick manner
Okay.
and kind of move on. Lou, you're going to tell us literally everything you hear in real time, including yes/no questions. You don't know what I'm asking, so if you hear yes/no, go ahead and tell us. Now, if you're too loud, one of your family members will tap you on the shoulder, quiet down. We have neighbors that try not to make them angry. When we're done, somebody will tap you on the leg. You take off your own gear. I will never touch you. Okay, I just like to point that out. And that goes for both of you. You're going to be able to hear me. So I'll just say, go ahead and take that thing off your face.
I won't be able to hear anything.
You're going to keep your spirit box loud enough to where you can't hear me.
Okay.
So once you get your blindfold and headphones on, turn your spirit box up and don't touch it so we know you're not cheating. Some people like to actually turn the volume down to hear what the questions are, even though you have no idea why I'm asking what I'm asking. So that's the fun part of this. So you can try to cheat, but it'll never work. I'll know. So we do this for 10 minutes only. Any more than that can be a little bit too much for people that don't do this on a regular basis, muggles like you guys. So blindfold and then headphone it up. I'm going to set you up and you'll be able to put this over your face.
Lou, I'll be right here.
Yeah.
High five.
High five, girl.
All right.
Low five. High five.
She can't see your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Can you turn it up all the way? I can't see.
I don't know where the volume is.
I don't know either. I can't see.
Is that?
Yep,
That's
you got it right there. Right where your thumb was at.
this. Oh, it's right there.
So look straight ahead. It'll
going
line up
up?
with you. When you can see it, it might be blurry. You went too loud.
Great.
All right, well, why don't you use your thumb on it, babe? You see that dial?
I can't see.
No, can you feel it?
Go for
Can you
it.
feel it?
Move your thumb.
Right.
All right, now put your headphones on.
Bro, I can't.
This is your focus. So if it's blurry, you turn this dial right here.
Yeah, that dial.
Okay.
So right is.
Can you put this on
You'll
my
see.
ears?
You'll move it back and forth, and it'll adjust for you.
Put it on.
Yep. Go for it.
Whoa, that is way blurry.
Turn the dial until it's not.
Oh, I'm so confused. I don't know what I'm doing. There, I think I got it.
Alright, this is gonna be very weird. I'm gonna be Henry, tell us about your work. Can you tell us what you did for a living, please? This is Lou and Juliet. They can hear and see whatever you want us to hear and see.
Figured.
Henry. I have somebody else here named Henry. How do you feel about that?
Most of his decisions. Paid.
Henry, you want to talk about the last day here?
Life.
I'd love to ask you about the last page that you wrote. You can give us images, we'll take them. Henry, can we get some images from you? I'm asking about your last work that you ever did. Don't fall asleep in there. Henry, did somebody else come here with you? She seems very on edge. Is that normal, Dad? She's a little antsy.
She always is.
You okay?
She can't hear you.
She's okay. I watch their breathing. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not writing anything down so I can make sure like they're breathing okay, and I look at their antics because some people are really weirded out.
She's always like that.
Okay.
Hallway, man, train, orange seats.
That's
What's the man wearing?
White shirt, black pants, blonde hair.
Does he have any facial hair?
I see his back.
Henry, can you tell us who the man is in the train?
give it up.
Henry, we're not leaving just yet.
3.
We've been here for about 3 minutes. We got 7 to go. Henry, who's the man on the train? Is that your friend Paul? What she's doing is not easy, just so you guys know. Like, this is not an easy task. And what she's been trying to do all night long.
You can literally hear your tape.
Henry, what are you referring to? Can you give us an image to verify what you mean?
Typical presentation.
Yeah, these are the same questions I ask you every night. I know. Henry, let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. You want to change the subject? I'm okay with it. You just got to tell me what you want to talk about. Or you can
Hysteria.
show us what you want to talk about. We're using the blue box tonight. Henry, I know you got more than one image.
We're walking over.
Henry, did somebody else come here with you tonight?
Let's sort the numbers.
Oh, by the way, note that code word is purple. So if it shows up for you, or she says it, then we know. How'd you get him to talk to you?
No fail.
1-6.
Second time that 1-6 has come up tonight. Henry? If you brought somebody else here with